James catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Oh yeah. We packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat packing the air. We about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe. You already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the Trey, yes and no, friends and the foes, the Butlers and the Herro. You can feel it in your soul. But when the ring is the goal, but if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing. Like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes. Going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going down in the basement.
Yeah, bitch. Fuck is y'all talking about? Welcome to the basement. Bitch is late. So I'm glad y'all here early. All 29 of y'all, make sure y'all like this video, subscribe to the network. This is going to be a breeze, because, bitch, I'm tired and we finna get the fuck up out of here. Run them likes up for us one time. So the Miami Heat blew that shit out. Fuck is y'all talking about? Took down Portland, the previously undefeated Portland Trailblazers. Miami got a 119-98 victory over them. A lot of good shit that we saw tonight, man. A lot of good shit. So I'm not going to make too much time talking. But before I get started with all that shit, I do want to thank the primary sponsor of the Basement Sports Network, and that is Simple Health Advisors. Ladies and gentlemen, insurance does not need to be complicated. If you have any insurance needs, make sure you give my guy James Poe a call at 321-345-7738 or email him at jpoe@simplehealthadvisors.com. Again, thank you, Simple Health Advisors, for sponsoring the Basement Sports Network. Want to thank my guy, Pride by Pack TV, Basement Boy, Cain Gang. What's happening? I went to $2 don't know. He said, pack Portland ass up. LMAO. The boy is confused. As am I, because from night to night, we don't know what team we're going to be looking at, but we got the good version of Miami Heat. So we're talking about them. Ariel, we're going to start with you, my boy. Give me your thoughts on tonight's game.
Evergreen take. I thought they played really well. Yeah, man. I guess my main takeaway. I mean, I didn't see too much tonight. That you kind of what we saw tonight is kind of like what you want to see from the Heat, right? It's what you grow to expect on paper, right? They're moving the ball around. They're making threes. They were, the best 3-point shooting team in the league last year. And the defense was pretty solid. I thought that they got off to a sluggish start. They were getting killed by ball movement early in the game, and the Blazers were making a ton of, a little bit of some of the looks that they were making I thought were kind of garbage, but they were beating the Heat with a lot of ball movement early. It's something that we've seen a few times over the course of this season early on, and so it's good to see them, kind of be able to overcome that. Kyle Lowry had a really good game. We've got to give him his flowers. When he's on his A game, like, the whole team just looks different. Like, the offense runs better and everything just looks so much better when he's on his A game. And so that's a trend that was kind of broken a little bit. And then a trend that continued was Dewayne Dedmon, our man Gad called them Deadmen. It's just absolutely comes in and just kills them. But in the second half, we started to see Jovic get subbed in, ahead of Dedmon. And I don't think Jovic played particularly well, but I'm not going to shit on him because I don't really care. But I mean, you don't have Dedmon on the court. It's an addition by subtraction, that in itself. So all in all, good night for the Heat.
Nikola Jovic was a +1.
That means nothing to me.
That means that he has beat the Dewayne Dedmon season.
Bro, it is clockwork with Dewayne Dedmon. He checked in that first quarter. The Heat were down 1. And like within 2 minutes, they were down 8, calling the timeout. Like every game, it's the same story. It's crazy,
bro. He's fucking garbage. I didn't even introduce the panel before we got started. So we got my man Ariel Latias, as you know, just got finished talking. We got the Thunder from down under, my boy George. We got Jess, late as usual, but at least she's here this time, so we appreciate that. And of course, we got the 2 members of the Cain Gang, my boy Brian and my boy TJ up there. TJ, let's go to you this time, bro. Give me your thoughts on tonight's game.
The Heat won a basketball game, and they look good doing it. That's all you can be thankful for. My God, maybe Dewayne Dedmon's time on the basketball court is over. It's time for celebration. It's a cause for us to raid the streets and throw a parade, something, because we won't have to see him play basketball any longer. Kyle Lowry, good God. Kyle Lowry was doing things, doing good basketball things. The defense was doing things. We'll see how long that holds up, but I'm just glad we got a win on this terrible West Coast trip, because it was looking real 0-3 on this, Sacramento, Golden State, Portland little spill. It was looking real ugly out there, but we got the dub, so you can be satisfied.
When people are talking about Kyle Lowry's game, I think the primary difference was that he was hitting shots today. Like that's essentially what it was. Like he was threes, he was hitting them. George, we're coming to you, bro. Give me your thoughts on the game.
No, it was finally to see something, actually come our way in terms of just we're looking to get rebounds in this, especially like after the first quarter. They were just looking like they were going to end up blowing us out as well. They were just looked quite flat defensively earlier on, but we started getting into a rhythm. Not a single player played over 30 minutes today. So this was just an amazing team performance. Everyone really lifted to play well. No one really had a standout performance, in my opinion, besides probably Caleb Martin. We really wouldn't expect him to get 4 steals on a given night, but he's killing it right now. I was really happy to see him play and actually hustle to get boards. He had 8 boards. Max Strus had 9, which was it's just great. It's great team play, and that's exactly how this team's going to have to play if they want to scrape together these wins on this West Coast trip. But no, we've had a really disappointing start to the season. I hated watching our team just get beat like that. Bam took a 3. Can we just appreciate that for a second? He took a 3. He missed it. It looked terrible. But it was. We want to see more. Dewayne Denver had a positive plus minus today, which was beautiful. But he only played 5 minutes, which is the even better part. Nikola Jovic had 4 fouls and still had a better plus minus than him. But we it's fine. We actually had seen the rookie get on the floor, taking up those minutes that Dewayne Denver would have gotten. But all around good team performance. Happy to see what we'll bring tomorrow night.
2 things that you mentioned that kind of stuck out to me. The Caleb Martin game, phenomenal. Like he was absolutely one of the 2 or 3 best players for Miami tonight, in my opinion. So we're definitely going to spend some time talking about him. And the Bam 3, like I said, I don't want Bam jacking up threes for the sake of jacking up threes. Like, and the one that he took wasn't like a bad one, in my opinion. He just shot it and it was ugly, but like it came within the flow. It was a cool 3 to take. If he takes them like that, then I'm fine with it. And that's kind of all we really need to happen. Brian, your name says okay.
Yeah.
Explain that for me.
That is exactly how I feel about this game. Well, I don't know what that means, bro. We're looking at 42 or 41-41. I don't care. I don't care that they beat the Blazers on a Tuesday night. My big takeaway, honestly, was that Caleb Martin, Max Strus, and Kyle Lowry slightly raised their trade value. Now that raised not even a 1%, but they did it, which is good for me, good for my agenda. They hurt the Wemby agenda tonight, which overall is a loss. But sure, they won a basketball game. Cool. I don't know.
Shut up, bro. Like, just Jesus Christ. I guess because it's only like 9:25 over there for you. So it's
still great.
Evening.
Actually, I'm gonna play basketball after this. Like, I'm gonna have a great night. Like, I don't know about you guys. You guys seem a little tired. I don't know why.
I'm going to fucking bed. Jess, I know, like me, you have an early call in the AM. So let's get your takes on this game so we can move this show right the fuck ass along.
All right, I'll go quick. I mean, a lot of it's already been said. I was impressed with Lowry, but I don't expect that to happen again. Maybe on a random night, but it's like, I feel like some people that are young and maybe amateurs are like, wow, he looked really good and he's going to keep playing like this. And it's like, we've all seen that disappointment way too much. So I'm not getting excited about anything. This was a Portland team that was well below 500 last year. So again, I'm with Brian. I don't think we need to get too excited. They've obviously, they've made some changes, and I think they've probably gotten better, and they've had a good start to the season. And I mean, Lillard averaging 33 points a game or whatever it is absurd. My takeaway is that I want Dame on our team. Other than that, I mean, Lowry was impressive. I'm pretty sure they said some crazy stat. He's like 13th all time in threes now, or something crazy. I mean,
yeah, I think he passed Dirk tonight.
Right. I mean, that's nuts. Caleb, I mean, I think Caleb's really impressive. I think, he can guard at least the 1 to the 3, on occasion, maybe a 4 that's like a little smaller, but the guy's really versatile. And, when he gets fired up, I really feel the tempo of the game change. And so I think he played really well. again, I always say I love to see the box score like spread out. There were a ton of guys in double figures, 7 guys, and that's really like the key to success on any team. So I was impressed with how we played tonight. I hope that we can keep that up. But again, I don't want to get overly excited about a game like this. I don't think that's like a real competitor, Portland I'm talking about. So I'd like to see how we face against, maybe the Warriors or any of our upcoming games. So we'll see. But yeah.
Yeah, I think with the Warriors being, well, essentially today, tomorrow, however you want to look at it, like there's already a built-in excuse for most of Heat fans for us to lose that game. I believe you me, like you ain't gonna want to come here if they lose it in embarrassing fashion and blame it on no goddamn back-to-back. I'm not going to hear it. I want to thank my guy Jason Adebayo for the $4.99. Don't know. He said, starting to think Spo is just a horrible offensive coach. Yep, I'm done with you, brother. Fuck do we have Jovic rolling for? He said, what he gonna do? Dunk on Nurkic, let him pick and pop. Bro, first of all, we're not gonna talk about Spo being a horrible coach. That's the best coach in the league, big dog. That is it. That is the only opinion that is valid around here. Let's get into some of these individual players real quick. I want to start with Jimmy. Let's start with Jimmy because we ain't starting with Jimmy much this year, but tonight we deserve to start with Jimmy. Jimmy took part of this game and he made Portland his bitch. So we're gonna start with Jess and then go back the other way since she went last this time. You go first this time. Jess, talk about Jimmy tonight, bro.
Look, Jimmy is the leader, right? I don't think that's really up for debate. As far as just keeping guys motivated, changing the tempo of the game when he gets in. And so, I think he had like 17 points and that's what I want from him. I don't want him to score 40 points tonight. He shouldn't have to, right? Like we want the rest of these guys in double digits, taking some of the load off him. That's exactly what we were saying in the playoffs last year. We're like, this guy can't do it on his own. And that should be the case throughout the regular season too, not just when we get to playoff time. Like these guys just got to show up and take some of it off of him. So listen, I always think that he plays solid. It's very rare for him to have a bad game. And, I think he'll keep delivering games like that and hopefully not have to do too much more than that. If everyone is just doing what they're supposed to do, we have a good squad. So. Yeah,
I think the takes are going to get repetitive if I let all of y'all go on it. So I'll give Brian Jimmy and then I'll change the player when it's time to go to George.
Yeah, I actually thought Jimmy was really good tonight. Like the stat line doesn't look fantastic. It looks pretty mediocre. Like he had 2 steals tonight. It feels like it was more. In that second and third quarter, I thought that Jimmy was awesome. Obviously he didn't have to play in the fourth, which is great. He's been playing a lot of minutes as of late. But if there's ever any question about who the best player is on this team, it's Jimmy Butler. Like I don't care. Like I get it. I get the potential of Bam and Herro, but there's a lot of moments where you see like that's the dude. I loved him working out the post. He's the best post player. He's the best player in a lot of regards. Like Jimmy's great, man. And he's very capable of taking over in nights like this, even for short stretches and, willing this team to win. So love Jimmy.
Yeah, speaking of his post game, he was giving Anthony Simons as the fucking business down there in the post. They had to get that bitch up off of him. No more of this. Who else we got to throw? They put Josh Hart on that boy so fast because Jimmy took that boy to task at like 3 straight possessions. George, since you got him as your background, I'll let you talk about Kyle Lowry and his one shining moment tonight. Just talk about him in the context of tonight, not the whole season, not what he's going to do tomorrow. Let's just talk about how he played this game.
Well, it's what we expect him to do. The point guard, I don't know who had to beat the crap out of him after the last few performances been putting in, but tonight he looked efficient. Is probably the word I look.
Who beat the crap out of him, George? He got 2 minutes tonight.
He did more work before the game than after the game, but he did. Kyle was
Jay Sable.
Whoever it was, man, he looked fantastic tonight. He passed the ball well. I was looking for the open guy. He wasn't forcing shots. Everything was in rhythm. The one thing I don't, we can't really give him the best credit for. We let the shot, our final shot come at the very end of the shot clock too many times tonight. And he's still slow. He's still very slow, but he shot the ball well. You're absolutely right. Before you said it before, the only glaring difference was today was his shot. He shot 5 threes, 7 threes, made 5 of them. It was just fantastic performance from him offensively. Defensively, tried to do as much as he can as the Oompa Loompa that he is to try and to stop what he can. But he looked good tonight in the sense of offensively and playmaking wise. Still got 6 assists, tied first in the teams tonight. So he's doing exactly what we want him to do. But can he do it on a night-to-night basis? That's what we want. But in the context of tonight, played good, happy with him. Move on.
Yeah, of his 5, like all 5 of his field goal makes came from the 3-point line. So, like that was kind of like, look, bro, if you can do that, bro, that's if you only gonna make 5 shots, make 5 threes. TJ, you go ahead and pick up on the Kyle Lowry conversation too.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we expecting. The man can't get to the rim like he used to be able to, even if you want to consider him, being a real rim threat. So the threes is the way he's going to get it. Off ball, you want him catching and shooting. On ball, you want him shooting threes against drop, and that's what he did. You just got to make them. So if he's going to do that, then great. Shout out to Kyle Lowry. The defense was there. He did defensive things, especially late when the Heat were going on runs in that third quarter and that fourth quarter. Getting his hands in there for deflections, taking charges, stuff like that. Like, just do the little things, man. I don't care. Look decently on these switches. That's what you got the big body for. If you're going to have a big body, bro, if you ain't going to lose weight and all this other stuff, at least look decent when you're going up against bigger players. So I'm cool with it. I'm not talking about UD. Y'all not getting me to do that. Not tonight. Absolutely not. But shout out to Kyle Lowry, man. Fine. That's all we expect from him.
Oh, we're going to talk about UD because that was the player of the game. Fuck is you hoes talking about?
Oh, my God.
That boy got in that bitch and grabbed that rebound, TJ. I was like, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Ariel, I'm going to let you ISO on Tyler Herro because I believe you and I may have some differing opinions on the way that he played tonight.
I thought he was okay. I'm not gonna gas it up tonight. I didn't think he was good. I didn't think he was bad. Like, he was fine. With him, I'm a little definitely not concerned about the 3-point shooting. I think that's the only thing that, like, I expect there to be a regression back to the mean. I think that's coming pretty soon with him. I mean, he's an elite 3-point shooter, right? He shot like 40% last year. I think 0.399 if we want to be exact on 7.5 attempts. So like that's okay. So that's super elite. Like, those are super elite numbers. And at this season, he's kind of started out a little bit slow. He went 3 for 8 tonight, and that'll actually bring his percentage up a little bit, but he'll probably still be at around 34-35% after tonight. So all that to say that, he's an elite 3-point shooter. I think he'll figure it out. Love the pace that he plays with. I like that Spo kind of went away from having Jimmy kind of anchor those bench lineups at the end of the first quarter, early second quarter time. And he kind of had Tyler and Bam doing that instead, which, I mean, the Tyler and Bam combinations have been really good for them. Tyler looks for Bam more than anybody, and they've got a pretty good connection with Bam screening for Tyler. Tyler's super dangerous, gets downhill, can pull up for 3, can pull up that long range 2, and he looks for Bam on the lob. So I like that combination. I think that's a good adjustment. And I like that, him, Bam, Jimmy, nobody really played more than 28 minutes tonight, I think it was. So that's all good. Tyler's fine though. He had a little bit of an off shooting night, got some shots blocked, but I think he'll bounce back. I'm not worried about him.
No, for sure. I thought you were going to be extreme and say
he was fine. He was fine.
If you would have said anything like good, I would have been all up and through your ass because he was not good. He was fine though. I'm with you. I'm not gonna kill him tonight because we won. But if we had a loss, I would have tore his ass up because that shot was unpause. Play. Fast forward. So now let's get to a conversation that I don't know. Like, let's talk about Bam. Because
that's a good conversation.
Because Bam was not good. Like, I don't care. Like, his stat line, he ended up with 6 of 11. Bam ended up with 18 points and led the team in scoring.
Yeah.
But for most of this game, like, it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't doing it. So let's start with Brian this time. Brian, tell me how you feel about Bam Adebayo and how he played tonight.
I mean, I'd say he played like an asshole, but that's me. Like, I don't know, man. Like, even though he led the team in scoring, I didn't even count that, just being honest. Like, this is tough to say. Like, it's obviously 4 games in or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I can't do math. He looks like the same player as last season. He looks like the exact same. Honestly, I've been saying this since the jump. All these guys look the fucking same to me. And that's kind of a problem because you wanted that jump, you wanted that lead. But, yeah, man, Bam just isn't that guy as a scorer. He's not going to take more shots. He's not going to show you the 3. He's not going to do this and that. Like, he is the same dude, which is great. He's Chris Bosh. He's Chris Bosh that's a better defender and a worse scorer. It's
So he's not Chris Bosh.
So he's like Bizarro Chris Bosh.
Bizarro Chris Bosh. Like Bizarro Chris Bosh. Which is cool as that third guy when you have LeBron James and fucking Dwayne Wade. But hey, man, just like my name says, he was okay. Cool. Fine. Whatever.
I don't know if this zero person is a real or not. No, they're not real. You're zero, not a one. But it's almost, but this comment is spitting. It's almost like Bam has peaked offensively. And that may be a tough conversation to have.
I will say this. Let me just add. Like, I don't know if he's peaked offensively. We talked about this last game of the game before, how he is essentially responsible for everybody else's offense. And I think on a team where he wasn't, he would probably look better. But with this current roster, like given the players that he's around and the guys and like what he has to do for everybody else, he probably has peaked offensively. Like, I don't think that there's a hole or a space for him to be much more of a scorer than he is now.
My AirPods died while you were talking, but I'm pretty sure you were spitting.
Appreciate it.
Don't you dare put that back up there, Anthony. TJ, I want to kind of follow up on that question, though. Has Bam peaked offensively in your eyes?
I'm a Bam Adebayo fan. He's my favorite player, in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that it feels wrong. It feels wrong to say. I don't think he has peaked offensively. I think with the way that the team is currently constructed and the role that he plays in it, I don't think that is the best utilization of Bam Adebayo. I think with what the team is now, maybe this is the best version of Bam that you're going to get with this current roster. Maybe he's peaked with this Heat team. You saw the three, that's cool and all, but in terms of what he's going to be, it don't really get no better than this. He might have a few moments here and there, but I watched Bam Adebayo set 7 screens on one offensive possession, and that's a little ridiculous. Like, there's no reason why he has to screen for Max Strus, Kyle Lowry, Tyler Herro, all on one offensive possession. That's a little ridiculous, but that's what's required of him. So you put better talent around Bam, different talent around Bam. Maybe if the best player on the team is more of a compliment to Bam and less of the guy who occupies the same realm of space, maybe it looks a little different. But for right now, with what this team is, this probably all you're going to get, bro. This probably all you're going to get.
So, Erik, I'm going to throw this question to you. You seem to agree with a lot of what TJ said in terms of this iteration of the team, this probably being his ceiling. But this iteration of the team, it's like, I don't think the team is going to change that much going forward. So he's going to be with Jimmy for at least another year or two. He's going to be with Tyler for at least another year or two. This is the time where Bam's prime is going to come into play. This is going to be the time. Like, if after this build is over, we're going to be asking Bam to kind of like make another adjustment again. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Will we ever get the opportunity to see Bam at his fullest potential? Because the roster is going to be constructed like this for a long time.
So before I really answer that question, like this notion that Bam hasn't improved offensively, or I don't think that's really what people are saying, but that he can't continue to improve offensively, I think it's kind of baseless, because he has improved offensively. Like, factually speaking, he's improved offensively every season that he's been in the league. So I don't see why that wouldn't continue. It's super early, and he hasn't played up to
what Bam was when he first got in the league.
Dude, he couldn't do anything other than roll and dunk the basketball. Like, that was it.
Like, that's all
he had nothing, all right? And so, like, even last season from the year prior, the point per game, like, raw number jump wasn't big, but the field goal attempt jump was, it was decent, and so the percentage went down a little bit, but that's what you want to see. That's how an offensive player develops. Is he ever going to be like a 27, 25 point per game guy? No, probably not. But I do agree very much with what Twan was saying with regards to, like, the personnel on the roster. Yeah, man, like, if he was playing, like when Twan said, if he was playing with a guy that complemented him a little bit better. And the first guy I could think of, like, right away, maybe just because we saw him tonight, was Damian Lillard. Like, if he's playing, like, if they're running high screen and rolls with Bam and Dame Lillard, like, forget about it. You can't help. You can't go over the screen. You can't go under the screen. Like, you are in the deep end. You are in the middle of the ocean with that. So yeah, a lot of it is personnel, but let's not, completely absolve Bam of needing to improve. Like, he is still relatively raw offensively when he gets the ball in the post and in the mid post. Like, he doesn't have a whole lot of moves, and other than like that kind of half spin that he likes to throw on guys, like, guys know he's going to do that, and he doesn't have a counter for it, and it ends like in a contested mid post type of jumper that he's not very good at. So like, yeah, he needs to develop a little bit, but I do think it's foolish to assume that a guy that's improved every season offensively that he's been in the league and that is still only 25 years old isn't going to continue to do so. As far as like what this build ends up being and what he ends up being when this build is over, I can't really speak to it because I don't know what the roster is going to look like in like 2 seasons, right? But I would imagine, like, if you're a front office person working for the Heat and you're making critical decisions, if you're Andy Ellsberg, if you're Pat Riley, if he's still here at that point, that Bam is going to be the guy that's carrying kind of carrying the torch for you in the future at that point. So you would look for guys that probably complement his game a little bit better. And if for some weird reason he never really improves offensively at any point, and the floor is like a 19-10, elite all-world defender, the Heat did pretty well, right? But do I think he'll develop offensively? Yeah, I think he'll continue to get better. He's young enough, and most good players do.
So, like, I don't give a fuck if Bam doesn't become any better than he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I agree. You have an elite, you have an all-star level player as is, right?
He's 20-10 elite defense. Like, that's what he is. That's the prototype that he is. Now, because he doesn't do all the flashy offensive moves or whatever, like, that does not mean that his game hasn't improved offensively. To Ariel's point, he's improved as a playmaker. He's improved as a mid-range jump shooter. Like, he's improved in other areas. And the post game might be the next evolution that we see or something like that. That could be possible. Well, oh shit! Do the freaky beaky bitches in the comments, y'all.
Yes, sir. 1 a.m. baby.
I hold back. So now, I think we kind of got enough juice out of the Bam Adebayo conversation, and on top of that, we're keeping this relatively short. We're gonna go a little bit over the 12:45 thing, but not by much. Not by much, my brother. I do want to talk about the bench. I'm gonna give everybody an opportunity. George, I haven't heard you talk in a while, so pick somebody off the bench. Talk about that game tonight. I think I know where you're gonna go anyway because it's the easiest one on the list.
It's gonna be Max Strus. We're looking at one player. It's going to be Max. And I'm not about to go last and have to pick fucking Drew Smith ever again. It's never going to happen. I'm not talking about Drew Smith for as long as I live. He is the best player right now that he'd have coming off the bench, and it's not even close. Especially offensively, we need that punch when he comes up. He does exactly what we need to. He plays hard as well. He had 9 rebounds as well. Out of everyone that I thought was going to be in the fall tonight, he's the last person I thought would be trying to get 9 rebounds as well. But shot really well, 4 of 7 from 3 is exactly what we need to do. Especially the fact that we don't really have a predominant ball handler besides Gabe coming off the bench. That's a part of that unit to try and get him involved. But he does play a lot of minutes with the starting lineup as well. Doesn't really have to try and find his own shot the way Tyler had to last season as well. But Max is really just. What am I fucking reading right now?
That's Alex, that's the boy Alex Sheltman. Shout out to that man. Like, he's funny as shit. Not even gonna hold y'all. I was one of the finalists to actually become a member of the basement. The boy Alex Sheltman is super dope, bro. So shout out to him. But go ahead, finish your point, George.
But yeah, he's the player that we expected to be this year coming in, taking that Tyler role. I'm sad that he lost his starting role out of everyone because he didn't really deserve to lose it out of any single one of them. In fact, probably Tyler didn't deserve to take the starting role at all. But it is what it is now. He's coming off the bench, but he's playing well. But I'd like to see him with a more improved bench unit coming off, maybe when February comes around, we can surround him with a bit more talent, so he doesn't have to do so much of the offensive load because it's a massive thing to ask to come off the bench and to give 22, 23 points a game. On a given night. I didn't know he didn't have that. He only had 16 tonight, but to try and shoot that many times to keep us in the game. But the team, like I said, as a whole, played really well. So he didn't really have to do any sort of miracle shit to try and get us back out of a hole. Jimmy did a pretty good job of trying to stop the bleeding. Whenever there was points of the game where we thought it could take a turn and we could start conceding shots after shot after shot. And Jimmy and Pete and Bam, who was playing amazing defense all day today. By the way, he kept Nurkic to 7 points tonight. They're starting to to 7 points, and he's been killing it in the last 4 games. So we can't take that away from him. But no, I mean, Max did exactly what we needed him to do, and he'll continue doing it for as long as he's on the team.
So 2 things. I don't want you to let you think that I didn't hear that nasty ass agenda that you said that Tyler didn't deserve that starting spot. You was spitting right there, and I don't give a fuck if Ariel T.S. out here. Max ain't lose that spot. They gave it to Tyler whole ass. They were crying about it. Second thing about the ass that they're making of Max Strus, I think at this point we can say, like, fuck Victor Oladipo coming back. Even when he comes back, this is Max Strus's bench. Like, I think that's kind of the point that I'm at. I don't care. Like, Max Strus is the best player off the bench that we have right now, and I think that's going to continue to be the case for most of the season. Jess, haven't heard you talk in a while, so pick somebody off of the bench and talk about them after I read this dono for our boy Voodoo Visions. Shout out to Voodoo Visions. Appreciate you for the $4.99 dono. He said just trying to donate, but the game was vibes like my Jovic minutes. That's it. Hey man, we're gonna get somebody to come out here. I say yes, Oladipo slander. Hey man, I haven't seen that. That motherfucker don't play basketball for the Heat. Go ahead, just before I read the nasty man dono, just don't feel obligated to rush your take either.
Considering that you've left me Jovic and Duncan and Gabe Vincent to talk about, it's not going to be long. I don't think Jovic was in long enough to really analyze how he played, considering he got 4 fucking fouls in 5 minutes. 2 of them were pretty cheap. I'll give him that. He really was like putting his hand straight up in the paint, got called for a bunch of fouls. So I don't know about that. So I can't really speak on him. Gabe, again, wasn't really in long enough either, and Duncan was just being inconsistent ass Duncan that he usually is. We're lucky if we get a 3 or 2 from him these days. I'll make a comment about the overall team, I guess. One thing that I was impressed with and proud of is how they regrouped and took a breather after that awful first quarter where we had 7 turnovers, got out-rebounded, and they came back and outscored them like 33-25 in the second quarter or whatever it was, and really just had this conversation after the first quarter that's like, all right, let's get our shit together. And they really did. From there on out, like, there was never really a chance of us like losing the game. So I was proud of that, because they tend to be this team that like plays well for 3 quarters and just eats shit in the fourth quarter. And so here I think they were struggling early on, and they said, all right, let's get it together. And they were able to come back in the second quarter and after halftime really strong, especially in that third quarter. And really be dominant. So I was proud of that. I hope they can continue to do that if they ever start off a little shaky like they do sometimes. But yeah, other than that, I don't have much to say about our bench. I think it's all Max.
So let me tell you how I know you don't know ball, Jess. Because when you said that Jovic wasn't in there long enough to do nothing, let me tell you how I know. Because every time Jovic was in there, Dewayne Dedmon what?
All right, you have a point there. You have a point there.
Did anything that boy would have did, that was positive to me. But like I didn't.
You know, I don't like to be like optimistic about anything. Like, I'm here to be this cynical, negative person. But I did feel in his 6 minutes, like we all looked better when he was on the court. I don't know if that was just like a little bit of an attitude change, like, but they looked like they were like playing as a team, and they looked like they kind of got that momentum going again when he was on the court. But that might have just been my observation. I don't know.
Yeah, and you could tell like it was the rookie's first game. He didn't know where to be. He didn't know but he was solid, and that's all that you can ask for. And Dewayne Dedmon went on the court. Want to thank the nasty man Darius Jordan for the $20 dono. He said the horny man show up today. Here's $20. We knew you was coming, my brother. You like clockwork out here, man. Don't mind me. Thank you for the $1.99 dono. My brother, you found her too now. You done found her too. Or my sister, I have no idea. I would not assume your gender. Duncan off the dribble going crazy. Look, bro. Duncan doing that a little bit too much. It's like he's trying too hard to show people he's versatile.
Bro, why is everything he do so ugly, bro? He dribble ugly. He sidestep ugly. He get fouled ugly. He play defense ugly. Everything he do just looks so he don't look like a hooper, bro. He don't look like he work here. It's ridiculous.
Hopefully he won't be for long. He's a seasonal employee at this point. Darius Jordan again with the $20 dono. He said, "Here's 20 more Read My Horn properties." No, I will not, bro. I will. Look at this man. Ariel, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to pick somebody off the bench, talk about them.
Okay, wait. So Strus is gone. Who else is gone? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna talk about Drew Smith. He's not an NBA player. All right, that's that. I'm going to talk about Haywood Highsmith. He's barely an NBA player. Okay, that's that. I would talk about Dewayne Dedmon, but I don't want to acknowledge his existence anymore. I thought Gabe Vincent was pretty solid, actually. That's 7 assists. I thought he had a nice drive as well, where he had a pretty tough finger roll finish. Like when he puts his head down, gets to the rim. Like sometimes it ends badly because he's kind of small, but sometimes it's good. So that's about all I have to say about that. But man, like Gabe Vincent is just rock solid. Kyle Lowry's off. You feel comfortable putting him in the game and letting him just kind of hold that fort down for as long as you need to. If you need to sit Kyle for the majority of the second half, you feel fine with Gabe Vincent on the court. But yeah, other than that, the bench had like 37, 39 points, something like that. So Royal, your agenda is still in the shits with regards to how bad the bench has been. It's been all right. It hasn't been great, but it's been all right. And that's all I have to say about that. There's not much there.
You sound like Forrest Gump just then. But Alex Toledo brought up some very interesting things about Kyle Lowry and Tyler Herro pairing on the 5 on the floor pod. Y'all can go listen to that. I think it pushes my agenda a little bit. TJ, I don't have a question for you, more of a statement that I would like you to respond to. Udonis Haslam played 2 minutes, officially marking him playing 20 seasons with the same franchise, only to be joined by the likes of Kobe, Dirk Nowitzki, and I think Tim Duncan's also on that list. But I would like you to respond to those comments.
I'm glad you gave me this. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a day to be celebrated. Udonis Haslam, yes, he did do something. He debuted for year 20. Shout out to UD. But I want to point out a stat, ladies and gentlemen. There were only 3 players today who had a worse plus minus than Dewayne Dedmon. I would like to name them at this time. Drew Smith at a -5, Haywood Highsmith at a -5. Oh, and everybody's favorite son, Patch, with a -1. Yeah, get this man off the floor. Never want to see him again. We got the UD minutes. Y'all got it in Portland, unfortunately, at 1 a.m. Congratulations to y'all. This is all the UD minutes I want to see for the rest of the year. He can play the final home game. He can step out there. But if he gets more minutes than Dewayne Dedmon, I might be disgusted. He's the only one that I hate more than 21. Keep that man off the court. We got our soapbox. We got our soap opera. He got on the court. Y'all can clap and y'all can celebrate, but I don't want to see no more. Thank you, UD, for your service.
You crazy. As many 20-point wins as the Heat finna pull off this year, that boy gonna be playing every game.
I hope not.
I want to thank my guy Voodoo Viz again for the $1.99. Don't know. And I just put the comment up. Why would you take it down, bro? This is why Adam, get your boy. Are the Heat really making Jovic a 5 in y'all opinion? Yeah, I think they're making him a 5 as long as Dewayne Dedmon's on the roster. But I do think that we also saw that he's gonna need bigger people next to him early on in his career. He ain't gonna be able to guard. He's not gonna be able to guard.
He's so skinny.
I will say real quick though that in the preseason, Spo was experimenting with that lineup, having Jovic out there with a lot of the starters and next to Bam, and it was pretty good for that short stint. It's obviously a really small sample size, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that he goes back to.
Yeah, I don't think the long-term solution is him at the 5. I just think he needed an additional body. I think Spo was forced to play the kid tonight because of how bad Dewayne Dedmon was. But look, I think there's an opportunity there, but it's not going to be with him solely as the 5. I don't think they're grooming him to be a 5 or anything like that. Let's get to this next game, which is happening in a couple of hours. We play Golden State Warriors at 10 o'clock p.m. again on national television, nonetheless, on the second night of a back-to-back. Adam Silver, you are a fucking criminal. So let's start with George. George, the boy feeling good?
As good as I can feel, really. After a win tonight, I'm happy that we're going to go in there and show a little bit of fight for 6 minutes and then fall off the face of the earth. It's going to be hard. They're the best team in the world. I don't know what to tell you. They are the best team in the world. we have just had one good performance in the last how many games? I don't know. I'm not saying that we're not gonna. But I'm not saying we're gonna lose. All right. I reckon we've got a chance. We're in there with a chance if everyone plays well. But Dedmon can't see a second of game time if we have any hope of winning that game. He will get destroyed.
I mean, if we want to tell the truth, Jovic was terrible tonight. Like, if we objectively, like, if we weren't really excited about him getting in the game over Dewayne Dedmon, like, if this had been a regular game, we would be packing that boy ass up and shipping him back to Serbia where the fuck he came from. Like, that is right in the middle of the war. Like, that's where the fuck he would be. Ukraine, whatever the fuck, like, go back over there and
Jesus Christ.
Bro, like, look, but he was bad. So I don't want to like make no illusions like he was great tonight and no shit like that. But I did like seeing him get a chance. Jess, the girl feeling good?
No, bro. No, they got too many snipers, dude. I mean, Poole looks unreal. I'm a Poole stan. Like,
better than Tyler.
all these guys show up every night. I mean, I just don't know how you compete with them. Like, honestly, like, I don't know. We're not very good at guarding the perimeter to begin with, and these people just have shooters. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know how we keep up with it. I'm not saying we're gonna get blown out, but I don't think it's a dub. So
I ain't gonna lie. I watched that game last night, and James Wiseman looked like he was in shape.
Mm-hmm.
And if they got them two big men playing like that, like, I'm terrified, just being real with you, about what them people can potentially do over there. Golden State is a really good team. Y'all have no guts. You just sit there and wait till my turn, TDT. I'm about to gut your ass to sleep. Darius Jordan, thank you for the $10 dono. He said it's going to be a massacre. Don't let this game fool you. Oladipo needs smoked tender like a brisket, and Lowry overeat every day. Hey, man, I won't comment on that. Brian, the boy, feeling good?
Before I give my statement, I just want to make a comment on the bench. Max Strus is the best bench player to play for the Miami Heat since Dwayne Wade. And
disgusting.
You gonna skip right over 6 man of the year, Tyler Herro?
I don't know what that is, but
not my 6 man.
But yeah, I didn't vote for that man. And Udonis Haslam, I want to give him credit. 20 years. He's the richest tick I've ever seen. That man that's amazing. It really is. Every drop of ball is like a rebound. Say this shit is crazy. To the Golden State Warriors. I'm actually going to that game tomorrow, so I'm posting pictures. It's gonna be I'll show you guys pictures of this Heat loss in high definition. It would be great.
Y'all heard it here first. The basement got Brian credentialed to go to a basketball game. We official, bro.
Sitting in the 300s. Nothing but the best.
Have a little basement, necklace, whatever.
Novius of bleeds. That's what that
man, the boy is not feeling good about this game. Let me tell you, the Warriors are a good fucking team. It's a good team. So.
God, yes, they are. They are a very good team. Twan, the boy feeling good?
I'm not feeling good. I thought we was gonna lose tonight. Yeah, this is cooked. Steph Curry got 27 right now, and the game ain't even started yet. I hope y'all ready, ladies and gentlemen. This finna be a blowout. Post game tomorrow is gonna be legendary because we're gonna be tired and we're gonna be cooking. So I hope y'all ready. This shit is gonna be nasty.
Ariel, the boy feeling good?
The boy is probably not feeling good, but you know what? The more that I think about it, I feel like this is one of those games where, like, just for no reason, you think they're going to lose, they go in there and get a dub, and then we look back on this and say that this was the 2 games that kind of propelled them and they got things back on track. If the Heat hadn't played Dedmon at all this season, like if they hadn't played him 1 minute and had just played Nikola Jovic, who, like you said, was absolutely awful tonight, instead of him, they probably would have won 2 more games, I think. So if he doesn't play tomorrow night, I think they've got a shot. They can't play him against that team. He's going to get killed. But yeah, I feel like this is one of those games they go in there, we don't expect it, and they get a dub. So the boy's feeling good.
That's right, Ariel Tish. The rest of you hoes, listen up. Turn these speakers up. The Heat are about to blow that shit out. Fuck is y'all talking about? Bro, Bam, 40. Jimmy, 40. Tyler, 30. Highsmith, 3.
That might be a career high.
Dedmon, out the arena.
Dedmon heartburn.
Fuck is you talking about, bro? I don't give a fuck, bro. In my head right now, after what I seen tonight, which is the only thing I'm judging off of, this season has been turned around. Everybody has found their rhythm. Kyle Lowry is the new 3-point champ. Get ready for it. Bitches, y'all know I'm lying. We are finna get smoked tomorrow by Golden State. Bro, Ariel, who is that in your background? And tell them to go sit down. They're not a part of the post-game show. Thank you, Darius Jordan, for the $10 dono, wrapping us up at the buzzer. He said the Warriors stat like a double cheat dump in my like section. You are a nasty, disgusting human being. Follow my boy at Donald Stark 92. Go ahead and check his likes out. Duncan Robinson about to be in a spin cycle. It's over. Warriors already up 20. Hey, listen, I'm with y'all. Them boys, listen, fuck that. We winning this game, bitch. Whatever, bro. Thank you guys in the comments, as always, for joining the show, making it much more fun than it would have been without you. Thank you to my man Ariel, George, the girl Jess, for finally showing up to work. We need to have a moment just to acknowledge that. Jess, thank you for fucking coming to work.
I'm here at 1 a.m. All right.
No, so and she's gonna be back tomorrow after that game.
Hell no.
And of course, we want to thank the 2Ks for joining me, my boy TJ and my boy Brian. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to the network. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Play the video, Ant.
Yeah, we packing somebody up tonight. Hey.
You can play Dedmon, you can play UD, but you cannot play them both. I can't take it.
We about to blow. This the basement. Ain't nobody safe. You already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the Trey, yes and no, friends and the foes.
Don't eat yellow snow.
Feel it in your soul. When the ring is the goal, but if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing. Like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes. Going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going